Hi guys, today we are going to discuss the verb. The verb is a word that denotes action, state, or possession of a subject. Simply, a verb describes what a subject is doing in a sentence. It expresses physical action of the subject, mental action of the subject, state of being of the subject, and possession of the subject. Let's have a look at the examples. She walks fast. Here, the verb is walks. It expresses physical action. He thinks smart. Here, verb is it expresses mental action. Satya Nadella is the CEO of Microsoft. Here, the verb is. It expresses the state of being of the subject. Abdul Kalam has only 2 coats of his own. Here, has expresses the possession of the subject. There are different types of verbs in English grammar. Now we are going to look at them. Verbs can be classified into different types. They are helping verb, main verb, regular verb or irregular verb. Here they can be called weak verb or strong verb, transitive verb, intransitive verb, finite verb, non-finite verb, active verb, passive verb. Okay. We are going to discuss these types of verbs in the following slides in detail. Here we are going to discuss verb. Verb is a very important part of the sentence. Here where there is no verb, there is no predicate. Where there is no predicate, there is no sentence. That's why verb is said to be the heart of the sentence. So we have to discuss the verb in detail. What is a verb? Verb is a word that denotes action, state, or possession of the subject. There are 2 types of verbs in English grammar. There are 2 types of verbs in English grammar. They are helping verbs and the main verbs. Helping verbs are 24. They are also called auxiliary verbs. They are again divided into 2 types. One is primary helping verbs or primary auxiliaries. These are 11. Do forms: do, does, did. Be forms: am, is, are, was, were. Have forms: have, has, had. These 11 are called primary helping verbs. The second one is the modal helping verbs. These are 13. Will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must, ought to, dare, need, used to. These are all called helping verbs or auxiliary verbs in English grammar. Now the main verb. Each and every main verb has 4 forms. They are the present form of verb, past form of verb, past participle form of verb, and present participle form of verb. They can be shortly called present V1, past V2, past participle V3, present participle V1 plus ing. For example, go, went, gone, going. Play, played, played, playing. Sing, sang, sung, singing. Write, wrote, written, writing. Cut, cut, cut. Here we are going to learn the distribution of helping verbs and main verbs. We've already learnt that there are 24 helping verbs and 4 forms of main verbs. Most of the students confuse in using helping verbs and main verbs. Here I am going to clear all the confusion with this single slide. V1, the first form of verb or the present verb, is used with 16 helping verbs. They are modals and do forms. 13 modals are there and 3 do forms are there. With these 16 helping verbs, we can use only V1. The first form of verb can be used. Let's have a look at the examples. Will go, would go. Shall go, should go. Can go, could go. May go, might go. Must go, ought to go. Dare go, need go. Used to go. Do not go, does not go, did not go. Is, am, are, was, were are said to be the be forms. We can use V3 or V1 plus ing with the be forms. If the sentence structure is in the passive voice, then we use V3. If the structure is in the active, we use V1 plus ing. Is going, am going, are going, was going, were going. In the passive pattern, is taken, am taken, are taken, was taken, were taken. Have, has, had are said to be the have forms. These 3 have forms take V3. We can use verb third form, past participle with have forms. For example, have taken, has taken, had taken. Let me recapitulate the slide. Modals and do forms take V1 as its main verb. Be forms in the active structure take V1 plus ing as its main verb. In the passive structure, V3 as its main verb. Have forms take V3 as its main verb. Here we are going to discuss regular and irregular verbs. First, regular. It's also called the weak verb. Most of the verbs in English grammar are regular. We add d or ed as a suffix at the end of the base form to form the past and past participle forms of verbs. It is called a regular verb. Simply, it ends with d or ed. Let's have a look at the examples. Ask, asked, asked. Play, played, played. Note, noted, noted. Close, closed, closed. Open, opened, opened. Irregular verb. Here, the past form and the past participle form are not regular. These are called strong verbs. The irregular verb does not take d or ed as a prefix at the end of the base form to form the past and past participles. Let's have a look at the examples. Go, went, gone. Take, took, taken. Sing, sang, sung. Sell, sold, sold. See, saw, seen. Cut, cut, cut. Here we can find 3 forms are different forms. So they are not regular in form. That's why they are called irregular verbs. Here we are going to discuss transitive and intransitive verbs in English grammar. What is a transitive verb? Simply, A verb that takes an object, that has an object, or that can answer to what or whom questions is called a transitive verb. Simply, it takes an object. Let's have a look at the examples. I like mangoes. Here, mangoes is the object. She gave me a book. Here we have two objects. Me, one object, a book, another object. My son cooks biryani. Here, biryani is the object. Chandu writes stories. Stories is the object. I patted my dog's head. Here, my dog's head is the object. She asked me a question. Me is an object and a question is another object. So, object refers a person or thing. That's the transitive verb. Now, let's have a look at the intransitive verb. Very simple. A verb that doesn't take an object is called an intransitive verb. We cannot find objects next to it. What is an object? Object is a person or thing. Look at the examples. Geeta drives very carefully. Here, after the verb, we can find very carefully. It's not an object, it's a complement. The old man slept soundly. Here, what is after the verb soundly? Soundly is a complement. The boys play in the backyard. In the backyard, complement. I walk to work. To work is complement. The birds fly high in the sky. High in the sky is complement. My brother studies well is the complement. Well is the complement. So here, a verb that has an object is called transitive verb. A verb that has no object is called intransitive verb. What is an object? Object refers a person or thing. Here we are going to learn what is a finite verb and what is a non-finite verb. Finite verb. It is the actual form of the verb. It is one of the 12 forms of tense. Simply, a verb that has a tense is called a finite verb. We have 12 tenses. The verbs that have been used in all the 12 tenses are said to be the finite verbs. What is a non-finite verb? It is not the actual form of the verb. It does not work as a verb in the sentence. It works as a noun, an adjective, or an adverb, etc. Forms of non-finite verbs are infinitive, gerund, participles. Simply, if a verb functions as a verb in a sentence, it is called a finite verb. If it is functioning other than a verb in a sentence, it is called non-finite verb. Here we are going to discuss another form of verb, active and passive form of verb. Here it is also called voice. Voice is a special form of verb. What is active verb? Active verb makes the subject active in the sentence. It makes the subject do something on the object. In the passive voice, we use the passive form of verb. Here, the subject is not active, the subject is passive, it doesn't do anything. It allows the object to do something upon it. Let's have a look at the examples. Abhi draws a cartoon. Here, draw is the active form of verb. Here, who is drawing? Abhi is drawing. Subject is doing something on the object. If you look at the second sentence, a cartoon is drawn by Abhi. Is drawn is said to be the passive form of verb. Here, the subject is not active. It is passive. It is not doing anything. It is allowing the object to do something upon it. This is called the passive form of. Look at the other examples. Chandu taught physics. Physics was taught by Chandu. Nandu is painting the door. The door is being painted by Nandu. She will help you. You will be helped by her. Here the simple rule is, if we use the active form of verb, the subject is active in that sentence. If we use the passive form of verb, the subject is not active, it is passive in that sentence. Here we are going to discuss the link verbs. We've already discussed link verbs when we discussed adjective. Adjective can be used next to a link verb. Here we are going to discuss the same again here. A link verb is a verb that links the subject with an adjective, noun or descriptive phrase. It is also called copulous or copula verb. The following are the list of link verbs. Be forms are link verbs. Is, am, are, was, were, be, been, being. Smell, look, taste, remain, feel, appear, sound, seem, become, grow, stand, turn, etc. are said to be the link verbs. Let's have a look at the examples. She is sleepy. Here the verb is, be form. They are busy. The verb is are. We will be ready. Here be, will be ready. Here all these verbs are connecting the subject with an adjective, noun or descriptive phrase. Everything seemed normal. Seemed is link verb. Ice feels cold to the touch. The curry tasted good. He looks dynamic.